Yes, people. Yes, people. It's Culture Cams. Listen, I had to do a solo one today, man. I had to do a solo one. Just come off watching Lears on SDS getting his head roasted. Roasted. So I thought, you know what? Let me jump on here and let's speak, man. Let's have a one-to-one, man. Let's have a one-to-one. I big up everyone inside, of course. Make sure you like, make sure you share, make sure you subscribe. Ah, man. Listen, if you're a United fan, it's been a very, very, very tough few weeks. Not even few weeks, few days. You know what I'm saying? You guys, if you watch my content, you'll see what happened on stoppage time. But listen, I thought let me come up on here and speak with a more cool head. You know what I'm saying? Time for reflection. We've had our moments. We've had our moments to shout. We've had our moments to let all the anger out. I'm sure everyone's group chat is absolutely peak. Do you know what I mean? Like, listen, my group chat right now, I ain't seen the number 7 so much in my life. And this is coming from a club that have had great number 7s, but I ain't seen so many number 7s ever. And listen, it hasn't been easy, but listen, here's what we're here for. We're going to speak about it. We're going to talk about it. And listen, all right, where should we start realistically? Where can we start? Like 7-0. 7-0. Hey, no one can say right now, yeah. No one can say right now that they're not burning. They're still not burning. Like, as much as you want to be cool, as much as you want to be calm, we're still going to be absolutely fuming. And listen, if you know how angry I am at that result, but it's time to look forward. Do you know what I mean? Of course, we're going to talk about it, but it's time to look forward. That's the reality of the situation. Like, well, we can't do anything. The club's not going to liquidate. The club has to go on, right? But let's talk about the game, particularly right now. And I think starting from the beginning of it, yeah? Let's start from the beginning. You look at the fan base, how we went into the game, the comments that people were saying, Ten Hag's press conference. I understand what he was trying to say, but you've always got to respect grounds like Anfield. You look at how excited everybody was, everybody was talking about, we want revenge for what they did to us last season. We want to get 5. I'm like, yo, people, this is Anfield. And a lot of times, we say Anfield hype, and this is Anfield. You've got to look at what Manchester United do. You got to look at what Manchester United do at Anfield in the last 10 years, even in Sir Alex Ferguson's time. I've said it before. I've seen Varane, David and Go, Schmitzers, all these type of players, no matter how good Manchester United are, they turn up. They turn up in this fixture. It's the biggest game in the country. So they treat it like how it should be treated. Form, as they say, goes out the window. It does. It flies out the window. You're not thinking about that. You just got to perform on the day. And Anfield is the hardest. For me, I always say it's the worst ground to go to when they are pumped up in Europe. Yeah, there's Camp Nou, there's the Bernabeu, there's San Siro's, all these historic grounds. But Anfield is different, man. Real Madrid went up in there and did their thing, but Real Madrid have a superiority complex over Liverpool. We don't. And that's the reality. We don't. So when I saw a lot of times we were going into the game, people were saying we're going to smash them, we're going to school them, we're going to win 4-0, 5-0, all this type of stuff. I was like, listen, if Man United get a win, it's going to be a nasty, ugly 2-1. Get in, get out. That's what I would have taken. Get in, get out. And I think the way we approached it was very naive. I think the players rolled up there thinking, hey, Liverpool are out of form. We're in good form. We just won a cup. By the way, we didn't play well against West Ham either. We did not play well against West Ham. So is this a reaction to these players getting too high? Is Ten Hag getting too high after the cup win? I don't know. But West Ham wasn't a good performance, and they strolled into this game thinking, oh yeah, you know what, we can win it. Because let's be honest, the first half, Yes, Manchester United could have been winning that game. We could have. That's for true. We could have been winning that game. But the intensity was low. It was very passive. It wasn't an impressive performance. Liverpool were just playing really poorly. Liverpool get their first goal and they sniff blood. They're looking around like, if this is what Man United are gonna do, then we're gonna smoke them. Now, there's absolutely no excuse for 7-0. I'm seeing a lot of people talk about tiredness. Listen, tiredness is losing 3-0. Okay, we've had 12 games, we've had 12 games in 30 days, whatever it is. Cool. We might not lose 3-0. I'll still be fuming, but the talk that it's down to fatigue, I ain't having that. I'm not having that. Fatigue is not what caused this. And if you mention fatigue, for me, that means you're taking away responsibility from Ten Hag and you're taking away responsibility from the players. You're just saying, fatigue, you're feeling sorry for them. I don't feel sorry for them. Well, how can you feel sorry for them? Let's talk about how we set up. Now, listen, I'll talk about the individuals shortly. But Ten Hag, for example, going man to man at Anfield, it's not something that you do, bro. You go Anfield, you know what you have to do. You're gonna have to play on the counter. You're gonna have to just try and nick a result. You don't go there man to man. Let's try and press. Then Allison just does one clip ball. Boop. Bye. See you later to that whole press. You don't do that. Fullbacks had all the time in the world. The starting 11. Bruno on the left. Rashford in the 9. Weghorst in the 10. you, listen, let's get serious here. I do think it's a little bit overstated how much people talk about Trent gets cooked by Rashford. Rashford has had the better of him a few times, but Trent has also had the better of him. We make it out like that Trent is on the floor stripping every single game. It's not what happens. But you would think a great avenue for United to win that game is to have Rashford on the left-hand side going up against Trent. And if you want to have Weghorst doing his press that he does that people hype up, let him do that in the 9. But moving your current best player to the 9 against Konate and Van Dijk, who are two athletes who will match Rashford for what he wants to do. We saw Arojo the other day match Rashford for what he wants to do. You want to run in behind? Cool, come here. Let's duel. Let's dance. That's what Konate will say. That's what Van Dijk will say. And then you put Bruno, who hasn't played on the left-hand side all season. He hasn't played on the left-hand side. He plays on the left-hand side at Anfield the first time. What trouble is he going to give Trent? What trouble? When Trent saw, I'm telling you now, if Trent saw Bruno instead of Rashford, he would have said this. Yeah, thank you, Jesus. I do not understand that decision. So first and foremost, I need to talk about what Ten Hag done, because we can talk about the players which I'll get into, but we have to talk about the decisions as well. Because a lot of people are saying this is a one-off. This is a one-off. It's a one-off. It's a blip. You can't just write it down to it's a blip. You can't just say it's a blip, because 4-0 at Brentford, 6-3 at Man City, conceded 3 against Arsenal away when we were away from home, 7 to Liverpool. This is a pattern. You can't say it's a blip. It's a pattern. Ten Hag, for me, and I said it in the first 2 games of the season, the Brentford one, I think he needs to learn what listen, the Premier League is unforgiving. You make a mistake, you will get punished a lot of the time. In Holland, La Liga, Syria, whatever it is, you might be able to get away with it a lot more. However, you need to learn these lessons. And Ten Hag said it against Man City. Thank you for the lesson. But when I saw him, for example, let's go back to the Brentford game. When he played Ericsson in the 6 at Brentford. Bro, you gotta learn. There's some grounds in this country that, bro, you gotta go ready for war. You gotta go ready for war. Ericsson in the 6, we lost 4-0. At the Etihad, I'm gonna play McTominay and Fred despite Casemiro being on the bench because of momentum. Punished. Anfield, man to man, punished. You've got to get these decisions right, because the minute you get them wrong in this league, you get cooked. You get cooked. He's gonna have to learn these things quickly. And of course, Man United having a good season at the moment. It's going in the right direction. But away from home, we are going to have to improve. And I saw the table. Man United third in the table from away from home performances. But we're talking about the big grounds, the grounds that you know you need to go equipped to. We're not doing well in them stadiums. We're not doing well in them grounds. So it really, really has to improve in that thing. And I think Ten Hag, people need to realize, right? Man United, when we go 2-0 down, listen, you go 1-0 down, we've shown that we can mentality, we can do a thing. But when you go 2-0 down, this team crumble, they collapse under Ten Hag. If a team gets to 2-0 against Manchester United, it's come like it's over. The game is over. Floodgates opened against City. The floodgates opened against Liverpool. The floodgates opened against Brentford. We're not showing the resilience to get back, because sometimes you look at it, you look at these games, right? For me, look, I'm not the manager, of course, but it's just my opinion. You're losing 2-0 at Anfield. The first time, okay, they score just before the first half ends. They score just before they score right after the restart. Manchester United in that moment, you need to just be like, all right, cool. We're going to have to sit back, whether it means we're 2-0 down to the 75th minute, cool. It's going to happen. You get one goal. They always say 2-0 is the most dangerous lead in football. You're 2-0 down. All right, cool. Don't panic. Go down. Keep the scoreline as what it is. You might nick a goal from a set piece. You might nick a goal from a counter. Who knows? But keep it tight. Keep it compact. Do not get embarrassed, because once it gets to 3, the game is over. Once it's at 2-0, you are still in the game. But Man United were playing, every man was just running around. This man is here, this man is there. I'm like, what's going on? Why have our heads gone like this? And why has Ten Hag not addressed it? Why has he not seen what can we do here? He kind of just looked a bit helpless on the bench, and that wasn't inspiring for me. That wasn't inspiring. That certain moment wasn't inspiring. Because it doesn't have to mean you go 2-0 down and it's an absolute capitulation. Come on, bro. Come on. You don't have to be doing that. 2-0 is a dangerous lead, bro. You can easily nick a 2-2. Thank you very much. Bye. But Man United still were going for man, was still getting clip balls over the top. It was way too easy for Liverpool. And I'll talk about Liverpool towards the end. I'm seeing a lot of talk. Nobody's giving Liverpool any form of credit for what they did. They deserve massive credit for what they've done. But I still just think the way Ten Hag set ourselves up in that game wasn't good enough. It wasn't good enough. And he will learn from this. And I hope to see, let's see what he says in his press conference, but I hope he talks about it. Because at the end of the day, if we're talking about a team, you have to include the manager. You have to include the manager. We can't just ignore the contributions of the manager. Do you know what I mean? So we definitely have to think about that. Listen, I ain't Ten Hag out. I ain't none of that. But we have to, I'm seeing people say Ten Hag out and stuff, which I think is too far. But we have to take these things into consideration, in my opinion. We have to. Now, I saw somebody say, because he just addressed it now, I saw the post about Weghorst and the touch in the... Listen, I'm telling you, people, if that's what's finally made you guys say Weghorst has got to go, or Weghorst shouldn't be at Man United, then I worry for you guys, man. In all honesty, like, it wasn't the fact that he's only had 5 Was it 5 shots at Manchester United or something like that since he's been here? It wasn't the fact that he has 1 goal so far. It wasn't the fact that he's just an average player. It was the fact that he touched the stupid Anfield sign. Come on, man. Like realistically, for me, that's just all. Maybe because it goes up against the whole narrative of he just gets it, doesn't he? Well, he doesn't get it, mate. He's touching the Anfield sign. He doesn't get it. So for all them people that are putting out all these posts, he just gets it. He doesn't. He simply doesn't. But little things like Ten Hag starting him 10 and people lapping up this Ten Hag 10 thing. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. This is Manchester United. 10 Weghorst is starting in the 10 at Anfield. I'm sorry, man. Listen. You don't have to wait until something slaps you in the face till you realize something is silly. We did this, by the way. And why I'm saying this, people, when Casemiro first signed for the club, he didn't play in the first 4 games that he signed. Fans were saying, well, we're winning. Keep McTominay in there. His form, oh my goodness, he is playing out of his skin. His form. McTominay and Fred. Etihad, hold 6. Hold 6. Same thing here. Well, we're winning, and you can see what Weghorst is offering us with the press and the. All right, hold 7. Hold 7. like, listen. You're allowed to criticize your team when you're winning. You're allowed to criticize your team when you're winning. And United as a fan base, we seem to never want to criticize when we're winning. Everybody knows my content. Yeah, everyone that's here, maybe not everyone's a subscriber, but you'll know no matter what, people kept trying to press me to say that Weghorst has been good. I was like, bro, no, because I don't think he's been that good. He's doing anything I feel like a League One player could do and getting mad love for it. And now here he is slapping you lot in the face by tapping the Anfield sign. And that's when you're finally done with him. It's absolutely absurd. It's absolutely wild talk. But let's get into some of the players, like my issue isn't even necessarily all with, the Weghorsts and stuff, because for me, he should just never have been at the club, and he'll never get a full-time contract. If he does, then Man United are finished, in my opinion. But I want to talk about the players that have been here a long time, because it's getting to a point where managers are going to get blamed for everything. Everyone is going to be pointing fingers at this and that. But there's been some players that have been here. Listen, I saw a thing. I'm going to get it up real quick, people. I'm not going to put it on the screen, but I'm just going to read it. It's like the heaviest 10 defeats since 2000 Premier League. Liverpool 7-0, Tottenham 6-1, Man City 6-1, Liverpool 5-0, Brentford 4-0, Brighton 4-0, Liverpool 4-0, Everton 4-0, Chelsea 4-0, Man City 6-3. Two of those, I'll say, 2016-17 against Chelsea, 2011-12 against Man City. Other than those ones, sorry, people. Let me know if it's good. Can you hear me now? Can you lot still see me? Let me know if you can see me. Let me know if I'm in the building. Am I in the building? Cool. All right. Back to what I was saying anyway. All right. Forget what. Anyway, basically, other than the 16-17 against Chelsea and other than the 11-12 against what's the team? Manchester City, the same crop of players have been on the end of all of these batterings. All of these batterings. No matter what Manchester United go and do this season, United need an overhaul. United still need a squad overhaul. And the funniest thing, and I never co-signed this, I saw the United fan base laughing at Ralph Rangnick saying United need 10 players. He's right. He's right. Is it because Man United have won the Carabao Cup, and because Man United having a season where we're finishing third? Is that what makes people think Man United are back? You didn't grow up on Man United winning Premier Leagues. Then you didn't grow up on Man United winning Champions League. Because third and a Carabao doesn't mean Man United are back. It means Man United are on route to doing good things. And next season, let's see. But he was spot on. We still need a bag of players. I'll say the players that have been here for nearly every single battering Man United have had since the 2000s. Rashford, Bruno, Fred, Dalot, Wan-Bissaka, Lindelof, Maguire, Martial, De Gea, and McTominay. Those players there have been involved in nearly every single battering we have had since the 2000s. Like, are we ever gonna look at this and identify there's an issue here? Are we ever gonna identify there's an issue here? I think I just named 10 players. Oh, sorry. Thank you for the comments. How can I forget Luke Shaw? They've been involved. That crop of guys have been involved in so much what's wrong with Man United. Let's not forget, before Eric Ten Hag came, these guys had us in our worst trophy drought for 30 years. Let's not forget that. I'll say the names again because people are saying names I missed out when I did say their name. I'll say it again. Rashford, Bruno, Fred, Dalot, Wan-Bissaka, Lindelof, Martial, Maguire, McTominay, and David De Gea, and Luke Shaw. Now, am I saying Man United need to sell every single one of them? No. But out of all of them names, I am keeping... Let me look at the names again. Of all them names, I'm keeping Rashford. That's the only one I'd fight to keep. Like, I would fight for. Now, would I be angry if Bruno stays at the club? I wouldn't be angry if he stays at the club. Starting is a bit different, but I wouldn't be angry if he stays. Dalot. And I think the rest can go. I don't think the rest are that good. I don't know what you guys think, but I know people are saying Martial. Listen, I'm talking about the crop. He's been part of this squad. And anyway, people, the guy's never there. So that's he's the first person I'll drive out of the club. He's never there. So let's not say that. Rashford's the only one I'm keeping. Definitely that I would fight for. Dalot, he's been terrible since the World Cup. Not good enough, but I'm still keeping him, and I'll keep Bruno. The rest of them, Fred, yeah, mate, you've had your time. You're too inconsistent. 1 second you're giving us a 10, next second you're not. Luke Shaw, listen, you guys love Luke Shaw like crazy, but he was directly responsible for nearly 5 of the goals against Liverpool. That was the worst left-back performance I've ever seen in my whole life. He's been here 8 years. Man United were not winning trophies with Luke Shaw, De Gea, all these guys. They can bounce. Move on. It doesn't mean they're not decent players. You can go and do something elsewhere. Let's freshen this thing up. That's how I see it. Best left back in the world. And this is the problem. And this is the problem. saying things like best left back in the world to somebody like Luke Shaw is what is the problem with our fan base. And that's why when results like this happen, you have to go in hiding. There's not been a moment in his career that Luke Shaw has been the best left back in the world, in my opinion. Not once. Good form, yep. He's been better this season, yep. But ultimately, he's still Luke Shaw and he will still do the same things. The ugly heads will eventually pop out. And that's how I see it. Best left back in the world, no. Lisandro, best centre back in the world, no. De Gea's back, no. Keep Fred. He's an important member of the team, no. Bruno, captain material, no. Hey, bro, it's just the reality of the situation. Sometimes we gotta admit when sometimes we are way too excited, too over the top. And listen, I'm not gonna tell people not to be excited about this Ten Hag era. I'm excited for it. I think we can go on and do amazing things under him, but it's still gonna require change. I've seen too much of the same from the same guys. I've seen too much of the same from the same guys to believe in them and think that they are going to be the guys that are going to take us forward to win major trophies. Carabao Cup is a good trophy. We know this. But it's not what we want to be winning every season, is it? The only thing we want to be winning every season, it's just a stepping stone to bigger and better things. If you haven't become a Manchester United legend in 8 years at the club, then you were signed for the club and you haven't become a legend for 8, your time at the club's been unsuccessful. You're not a legend, you're not an icon, you're not a fan favorite, you're just there. You're just there. You're still building your legacy 9 years in. Come on, man. Come on, I can't take that type of stuff too seriously. And I know a lot of people were talking about, you know, let me go through the super chats that I received first. Young, Rich, and Black says, I feel you're being a bit too harsh on Eric Ten Hag. It's his first season in the league. He's always going to get some things wrong. 100%. I agree. That's what he is. He is going to get things wrong, but you got to learn from them fast because Man United are going to be in big games. Man United are going to be in big moments. You don't want to be losing these big games, these big moments down to a manager's mistakes through naivety. A manager can make a mistake with his lineup, but when you're naive, that's a mentality thing. That's a mentality thing, and that's a bit worrying for me. Do you think there's a case to say Konate, Licha? Of course, there's a case to say that. A fit Konate, for me, I prefer a fit Konate than Lisandro, and that's just me. Bob Johnson, I know you and Salah are cool now, but ever since you made a video about him needing to rise, he has 9 goals and assists in 6 of it. You sadly woke up a sleeping beast. We'll get on to Liverpool later, and listen, you're damn right I did. The guy cooked us, and he's cooked us many, many times. But I'm going to talk about Liverpool as well because it's only fair to have, in my opinion, the best, not the best, but be part of the worst result ever and be the team that won. You deserve a moment, man. Too many people are trying to not give them their moment. Kevin Jimenez says, thank you for the lesson. I'm sure ETH has learned it. Just don't let this be the downfall of the season and we can move. Embarrassing. So now make it right. 100%, Kevin. That's exactly what it needs to be. United need to be careful that this doesn't derail the season. It's unacceptable if it derails the season. Yes, it's a massive L. The result is peak, but it cannot be something that we use as an excuse to derail the season because I'm telling you now, 100%, this is going to kickstart Liverpool's season. If Liverpool do not go on and have a great end to the season, I believe they're out against Real Madrid, but they might even go to Real Madrid, get a draw, maybe even nick a 2-1. Who really knows? Walk away from there feeling good about themselves. And even if they lose against Real Madrid, the Premier League is all that matters to them now. I said Well, I said it to my in my group chat. I believe the season's been split into two now. Pre 7-0, post 7-0 for both clubs. Pre 7-0 for Liverpool, what a terrible season they've been having. But now they're gonna be like, yeah, boom. Post 7-0, this is what we went on and done. Man United, pre 7-0, oh man, lovely. We're rising. That's nice. But that 7-0 now has split it in two. What are we gonna go and do from here? United need to keep winning and winning. Betis, I don't think it's gonna be easy. Southampton, we should be going at Old Trafford and beating them definitely. But it's not gonna be easy. I'm looking at this season in two parts now, pre and post. That 7-0 is damaging people. It's the worst result ever. And for me, other than Germany versus Brazil, I think it's the worst result in the history of football that I've ever seen. 7-0 in your biggest rivals. Come on, man. The hell is this? Let me get up. Siler says, big up Siler. He says, I don't think going blow for blow pause was as bad as people are making it out to be, Cams. We've seen Leeds and Brighton do it this season. It was the players giving up and the lack of tracking back on counter. I understand that. But Leeds and Brighton are not Manchester United to Liverpool. They're not. They are not Manchester United to Liverpool. Liverpool could have gone into them games and thinking, do you know what? We're the better team. It's just Leeds. It's just Brighton. We'll get over it. But Klopp will be acting different in the build-up to a Man United game. The players will be acting different. The fans will be acting different. This is Manchester United. It's not Leeds or Brighton. It's not. They're going to be way more up for it. They're going to do different things. So we can't treat it like it's Leeds and Brighton, But I understand what you're trying to say. But it's a lot different, man. It's a lot different. But let me get on to what I was about to get into before the super chats. I mean, listen, people, calm down. I'm gonna get onto certain players, but let's talk about the Bruno situation. Everyone was talking about the Bruno behavior. Everyone was saying that. Listen, first and foremost, Gary Neville. Come on. Now, I'm not here to try and defend Bruno because I'm not Bruno's biggest fan. But Gary Neville pretty much put some hate campaign around him. He pretty much. If I missed your super chat, I don't even know where it is. My bad. I'll try and find it. But Gary Neville lined up Bruno there. I don't think Bruno asked to be subbed. I was on the stream. No, I was doing stoppage time. People said it. I was like, raw, sell him then. If that's the case, sell him. But he didn't actually ask to get subbed. You know what I mean? Gary Neville was moving way too emotional. If you can't handle doing Manchester United games, don't do Manchester United games on commentary. If you can't, when Man United are losing, still be level-headed and balanced, don't do Manchester United games. Because if you're going to go, what he has done, the worst thing is he hasn't even apologized for it. Because 100%, what Bruno was doing on the pitch was ridiculous. You know what I mean? The moaning, the whining. I saw the breakdown from Ian Wright, and I think it was Michael Owen. Disgraceful. Captain, never. He's never a captain material in that way because Bruno has been like that. Bruno has been a moaner, and it's not inspiration. It's moaning. It's complaining. But what Gary Neville did was lead a hate campaign for Bruno, basically. He left him out to dry. And the thing is, Bruno deserves an apology from Neville. Bruno deserves an apology from Neville because, come on. That's something that maybe you want to go and whisper to Carragher. Yo, I think he just asked to get subbed. I think he just asked. Not saying it in front of millions of people where millions of people are just impressionable and they're going to go They're gonna be attacking him. I ain't seen Bruno's comments. I ain't whatever, but I'm seeing what people are saying. And bro, that's the wrong thing to do from Gary Neville. It's definitely the wrong thing to do. But Bruno, the guy needs to stop with that moaning thing. Listen, I remember when I've played for my flipping school team, no, for my uni team, and we lost 10-0 one time. Listen, I was moaning on the pitch as well. But Bruno cannot be doing that as the captain of Manchester United in the biggest game against the biggest rivals, having conversations in the middle of the pitch, letting Trent, I believe it was, or Darwin Nunes, I don't know who it was, go walk past him, and he's just walking on the pitch. I'm sorry, somebody needs to tell Bruno, you haven't done much in football. You haven't done much in the game. You haven't done much in the game. You're held to this standard because Man United have been losers, which you were a part of. Losers. You were losing with Man United. You didn't. You were people giving you credit for carrying, blah blah, but you were losing. You were not part of any success until Ten Hag came here. So you know what I mean. You just about starting for your country recently. Just about. You're moving like, you know what I mean, like you're Ronaldo. When Ronaldo does it, it's annoying. Ronaldo's won everything in the game multiple times, pretty much. You ain't. Bruno hasn't. So maybe it's because the fans have built him up to be this new Eric Cantona. Do people know Eric Cantona won the league the season before he joined Man United? Cantona wasn't just some random scrub that just came and Fergie gassed him up and he did. No, he came as a winner. He came as a winner and then he became the leader of Man United. Roy Keane came into our team. He wasn't even the leader straight away. We had other people. Bruno, you've done well for Man United thus far, but you ain't that guy that you can just be walking around the pitch and throwing your arms up as if you're the standard bearer of the football club. You're not. You're not. I'm sorry, people. He's not. He's not the standard bearer of Man United to be moving like that as captain. Come on, man. Come on. You know what I mean? That was poor. It was disgraceful. It was actually disgraceful to see. You know what I mean? It was disgraceful to see, but I do think he shouldn't have been playing out wide, as I mentioned. He shouldn't have. He shouldn't have been playing out wide. But you can't be moving like that. You really can't. So let's get into certain things because I can see people saying certain things like what's this? Bruno's won the Portuguese version. Bruno's won the Portuguese version of 1 FA Cup and 2 Carabaos. Man's got nothing. There we go. Do you know what I mean? There we go. Talk on Antony. Oh, mate. With Antony, yeah. Bro, people know what I said about Antony. People know what I think about Antony. Mate. Let me have a drink for this one, man. People know what I think about Antony. Do I think Antony's a great player? No. Do I think he's worth the money that we spent? No. I thought Antony, and I said it before he signed, I think he's going to struggle in the Premier League through his attributes, through through his actual attributes of what he is. I don't think he's quick enough. I don't think he beats players enough. I was seeing the skills that he was doing in the Dutch league, and I was like, these ain't moving me, man. People are talking about flair. That's not flair, bro. You know what I mean? You can't beat players. Every single fullback in this league are athletic, bro. What? Zinchenko is probably the only one that's not. And he's there for other reasons. Every fullback in this league is athletic. Every fullback's can get at you as well and make you think the other way a lot of the times. For me, this wasn't a good signing. And I saw that key pass thing. I know everyone just recently saw that key pass. So basically what I've seen is And what my complaints about Bruno was, I mean, sorry, about Antony was, he doesn't offer enough threat. Yes, he's decent at retaining the ball, but his retaining is pretty much going backwards. He receives the ball a lot with his back to the defender, gets it, passes it back infield. Rarely does he even see it and fizz a ball between the lines, and then we break, and we go and score. A lot of the times he just passes it backwards or it back to the center midfielder. He doesn't offer enough threat. And it was actually good to see that video. It wasn't good to see, but seeing that video basically back up what the eye test is showing, that he doesn't create. He doesn't, if that's his key passes, he obviously has zero big chances created, zero assists, of course. His threat is the most minimal threat of any winger in the Premier League. Antony at the moment. Worse than Sancho's when he was even in his down period. He is probably the easiest player to play against in the Premier League in his position. And that says a lot. I would rather play against Bowen, Barnes, and these men, and old Brighton might even put in a wicked cross. He is easily the least effective. Literally, I was about to say, he is easily the least effective winger in the Premier League at the moment. And I'm not all about stats. I'm not all about he has to give 15 goals, 15 assists. If there's a way that I'm seeing you influence the game through your performances, then I'll be like, all right, fair enough. But you're not influencing the game through your performances. The best game I've seen Antony play, I believe, Barcelona cameo, that 45 minutes against Barcelona, that was good. Scored the winner. That was a good performance. That's the best I've seen him. And I'm not surprised it wasn't in the Premier League. I'm not surprised it was against a La Liga club. He's going to need to seriously improve, bro. Like, it's no banner. He's going to have to seriously improve. But when I look at his attributes and his scope, his scale to grow, I don't know what it is that he can. Okay, one, of course, he has to improve on his right foot. He is way, way, way too left-footed. It to a point where it hinders him too much. Yes, Iron Robin was too left-footed. But the difference between Antony and Robin is the way they run. If I don't know if people, I don't want to start getting too deep, but the way the guy runs doesn't allow him to do anything. It doesn't even allow him to shift to his left that well. He can't even act like he's going to the right-hand side. He can't, because of the way he runs. So that's why you see every single time he's trying to cross the ball, he's crossing it with the outside of his foot. The position that his body is in doesn't even allow him to do anything. It's very, very, very weird, man. If you're going to be one-footed, you have to be able to shift yourself consistently both ways as well. It doesn't matter. It's not just cut in. Even if you're going to chop them down the line, then come back in, cool. But he can't do anything down the line. He can't. Did anyone see the goal that Brentford scored yesterday? I don't know the guy's name. He's a young player. He's called, I don't know, might be wrong. I don't know if his name was Shade or something like that. I don't know. Someone remind me. The way that guy just got down the line, ran past Robertson and just passed it to Jensen, I believe, and he scored. Antony cannot do that. Antony cannot do that. Something so basic, and all he did is use his physical attributes. Am I quick? Can I kick it down the line? Yes, I can. He just used his simple physical attributes. And everyone be saying, you don't be too obsessed with PMP. It's important in this league. I've said it numerous times. It's important in this league. You need it, especially in the wide areas where you're going to have to get in isolation periods so much. If you're going to be in so many isolation points, you're going to need it. 100%, you're going to need it. So I worry for Antony. I worry for him. Yeah, I mean, I'm always here to give people chances, but but I do 100% worry for him, man. You know what I mean? But let's see what happens. In it, it's his first season. He's gonna have to go pre-season and massively improve. All right, and let's talk about. Listen, there's been a big talks. I remember me and Liaz were discussing this. We had a little argument about this off air, and I'm seeing a lot of people talking about it on the internet now. Um, about Man United's. So, how do you pronounce the guy's name? Shade, yeah, Shade. But anyway, let me do the super chat before I move this topic. Oh, not that one. La, 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 la. Talk about number one, please. Brother gets away with too much. Listen, just there's a comp flying around right now of David De Gea. You don't do what you want with that, man. 10 minutes long. I didn't need to see that to have my opinion set, but if you need it, go and check it out. Felipe H says, "Oh yeah, I remember you said that Newcastle were going to beat us." Robertson, I don't think gets enough credit. An elite fullback, also never dropped a huge stinker season yet. Salah, wow, he's a PR legend. We're going to get into Liverpool towards the end. That was, and then Messi 2Y says that was historic, biblical. Even I'm sure you're talking about the result. It was. There's no denying that. But let's move on to the topic that everyone's talking about. Everyone is talking about, of course, the Lisandro Varane pairing. People are saying they've been overhyped. People have been saying all that type of stuff. A lot of people be saying, why do I only big up Varane? Why do I only big up Casemiro's? Because they're winners, bro. That's the reason why. They've won things. They've won things. They've been there. They've done that. Right? So when there's discussions about like best this, best that, I put Varane in those discussions because I'm talking career-wise or cumulative, what he's done for Man United as well, the impact he's had in this season when he's been fit. Brilliant. Lisandro, for me, has been fast-tracked by Man United fans. And in fact, opposing fans as well started getting into it a little bit too much. I think Lisandro is very good. But you can see me say it on Stoppage Time, people. Please don't say this is me being reactionary, please. When man are talking about best in the world, best in the league, I've consistently said no, he's not. No, he's not. And that's not got anything to do with hating on him or anything like that. With Lisandro, for me, in his box, it's crazy because what I thought Lisandro was going to get exposed at in the Premier League is actually the opposite to what he is, in my opinion, not the greatest at. Right? Thank you, Mars. Is not what he's the greatest at. I thought when Lisandro came to league, guys are going to be climbing on over him and, scoring headers or bullying him, blah, blah, blah. He's handled that side excellently. Honestly, his in-box defending is like second to Vidic that I've seen at Man United in these years. Obviously, Yap Stams and stuff, but I'm talking about from the modern era, let's say. In his box, the guy is a problem. The guy wins headers. The guy will nudge you, elbow you there. Problem. But the area for me in which he struggles with, and I've seen it all season, is if Luke Shaw comes out of position, which don't we want Luke Shaw to be an attacking fullback, right? We do. We all want Luke Shaw to be an attacking fullback. Luke Shaw's quite balanced. He doesn't really always commit to attacking very aggressively like a Robertson. He kind of does 50-50. But if we want our team to be one of them teams where the fullbacks are flying up, crossing the ball in, they're constantly in the attack, we're going to need centre backs who are capable to handle 1v1s in wide areas. That's what we're going to need. You look at Van Dijk, listen, remember by the way, people, he's been called the best defender in the league, potentially in the world. So I'm comparing him to people that have been at that standard. You look at when people go in them wide areas, the Militaos, Arojo, if you want to save even Varane, you look at he was terrible by the way, but you look at Van Dijk, Konates, these type of guys, when they go into the wide areas, every centre back can get beaten. But consistently for me, when Martinez goes in the wide areas, he gets beaten way too easily. Way too easily. They either skip past him so he fouls. Yeah. Or so they skip past him, he'll foul. I'm like, bro, so it's either ends up in a foul or they get past him. Consistently, people. Nobody is perfect. Nobody is perfect, but it is something that he is going to need to work on. He wants to win the ball a lot. Of course, that's nice. But in these wide areas, because Man United want to play high, right? Eventually, when we get to the best of how we are, we want to play high. We want to defend high. I think Lisandro is very good at if a striker goes on, he'll come and, get around you, physically bully you. I've seen him do it to Kane. I've seen him do it to a lot of strikers. But once the ball goes in any of these dynamic sides on the right or the left or anything like that he needs to chase down, he looks like he's on an island, bro. He looks like he's on an island. As I said, in his box, he's monstrous, and I didn't expect that. But in the wide areas, it's a worry. So if we do want to be the team where we have guys going flying forward, our fullbacks flying forward, we're going to need our centre backs able to be covering these areas where somebody's going to play on a counter, bang it long, and we're going to have to see what's going on there. That's just how I see it. You know what I mean? I think people want to make it out like he's perfect, but he's not. And I think that's a glaring issue. I think that's a glaring issue in his game. You know what I mean? I never co-signed the generational talk. I never co-signed the best defender in the league. I don't think he'll ever be the best. I don't think he'll ever be the best defender in the league. I think he can always be a top defender, but I just think there'll be people better than him, for me anyway. But I think he's good. I think he's very good. He's a good partner for Varane as well. But let's see what Man United do in the summer, because we do need to get a centre half as well. Because Maguire's probably going to go. Who knows what's going on? Lindelof, obviously, Bailly's not coming back. We're going to have to get rid of a couple of these guys. So we're going to have to get someone in. I'm seeing names like Gvardio. I'm seeing Min Jae. But are these guys going to want to come and sit on the bench? No. So does that mean they come in and starting? Hey, you know what I mean? Let's see. But in possession, as Mal said, yeah. I thought you were talking about Martinez, but Martinez in possession is outstanding. I saw somebody suggest something about him playing in the left back role, like because Arteta was going to do that with him, and can he potentially do the Zinchenko kind of role? Zinchenko's movements with the ball, we got to remember he was a midfielder, he was even a 10, so his movements and his ability to move just everywhere in a 360 motion is much better than Lisandro's. But can Lisandro do the inverted kind of role with his ball playing ability, with his ability to clamp at guys high up, but he'll be more inverted, slot into the LCM kind of role, slot into the DM on the left-hand side kind of role? Who knows? I've seen, but the guys that I've seen actually play this inverted role, they can move a bit more fluently. You know what I mean? When you're looking at even like Rico Lewis, for example, what Pep is trying to do right now, that guy can get the ball turn this way, turn that way. So I haven't seen Lisandro do that, but he's got the standard techers to be able to do that 100%. But it's just about what Man United want to go do going forward. Let's see. I've already spoke about Weghorst. Yeah, I mean, one thing I would say as well before I go into Liverpool, one thing I would say is absolutely disappointing that, two of Manchester United's leaders, two of Manchester United's players that have won things, that have been there, that have done that. Casemiro and Varane, shocking performances. Casemiro made 0 tackles. Casemiro made 0 tackles. 0 ball recoveries in the defensive third, it said. So he was useless. Man, he was an absolute shambles for the second or third goal. Look, we can dig out every single player that they've done with something that they did wrong, but I was disappointed to see someone like Casemiro, who is the standard. That's somebody I'll vouch for and say is the best at whatever. That's somebody I would vouch for. He's the standard. If Man United want to win trophies, we got to get people as close to Casemiro's standard. So for him to be a standard, you want to see much, much, much better. I don't know about injury and all that stuff that people are saying. I don't know. But he played a full 90, I believe, or whatever it was, and he wasn't good enough. He was not good enough, man. And Varane as well. Oh, my goodness. Absolute howler. Liverpool just... Every flaw that Manchester United had, Liverpool exposed. Honestly. So you just gotta take those ones on the chin. But Man United have got to bounce back a lot better. As I mentioned, this cannot be the reason why the season capitulates. Cannot be. And if it is, it's an absolute disgrace. And there's going to be consequences for it, realistically. But what I would say is the fan base are overdoing it. There's a lot of people. Look, I'm seeing a lot of people online, right? Some people are overdoing it. And I think you're overdoing it just so you can look like... Not even overdoing it. You are fully in your right to be absolutely livid. And we should be livid. I was, mate. But when I say overdoing it, I mean... Online, I'm seeing people say, Ten Hag out, or I'm seeing people bring up stats about Oli, or I'm seeing people bring up stats about Jose, or I'm seeing people now start to bring up... I saw Sky Sports posting Manchester United's result against the top 11. Top 11. That doesn't make sense. You either have the top half or the bottom half. What the hell is the top 11? And people lap it up. They basically just brought all our losses of the season. They should have just said, Man United lost all these games. I said, United's form away against the top 11. And the hell did the 11 be part of the top? They just wanted to put another team in there. And people lap it up. And overdo it and over cry about it. And a lot of people are doing this online just so they can't get cooked by Liverpool fans. They want to look like that fan online that's, I'm real about my club, blah, blah, blah. Just to dodge getting smoke. Hold the smoke. Like, hold it. It doesn't make sense. We took a life-damaging L. Hold it. That's it. A lot of people are doing way too much, man. Way too much online. In my opinion, man. There's no need to melt down. Now we need to see what happens next. Betty's not going to be easy, but I want to see a reaction from the players and I want to see a reaction from the manager. And I actually want to see something that he does in the lineup. I want to see him make a change in the lineup. Do something dramatic. Do something drastic. Don't just, throw the same guys out there and expect something different from what they've done. I want to see a difference, man. I think Casemiro is going to be out for that game anyway, and Varane probably going to be out. But let's talk about Liverpool, man. I saw a couple of super chats in there. Where is it? Let me get rid of that one. Speaking of players, Willian has more big chances created 3 than Antony. Willian's not that bad of a player though, and I'm not even gonna cap. But yeah, Antony 0. You can mention, I saw Jack Colback. I didn't even know that guy's still in the Premier League. I didn't even know that guy is still in the Premier League. Jack Colback. Yo, more chances created. That one tickled me, honestly. But let's talk about Liverpool before we go. You guys go off for the Chelsea game. I mean, I know we all want to watch Chelsea. Listen, Gakpo isn't an amazing player, but he has the tools to be a very, very useful player, and he will score goals and he will get assists for Liverpool, in my opinion. Klopp forwards do that. They're going to get goals, they're going to get assists. We made him look a lot probably better than he actually is. However, he's going to get goals, he is going to get assists. That first goal, whoop, finish. Second goal, little dink. Problem. Problem. Now, it caused us a lot of problems. Do I think he's going to be as good as Salah and Mane? No. But he's useful, man. He's going to be useful. You know what I mean? He's going to be useful. Like, he can shoot with both feet. I don't know what his ideal role under Klopp is going to be. Is it going to be off the left? Is it going to be in the false nine? Whatever it is. I don't know. But he can shoot with both feet. As long as he knows how to find his range often, he's going to score goals. Now, I don't think he's unreal. But once he starts getting up to the pace of the Premier League, I actually think he'll do well. Like, he could do like a Jota. You know, Jota's a good player. He scores goals. I'm not the biggest fan of Jota, but he finds his way to be useful. Scores goals. Well, before all these injuries and stuff. Doesn't mean that everyone that comes in are going to be Mane. Yo, do you know what levels that man set? But he can come in and do a thing. And Darwin Núñez, before we talk about the other players, Darwin Núñez is someone that I've been a fan of. Like, I don't think like he's this polished football player, but Darwin Núñez is a problem, man. Once this guy patterns his finishing, and I know it might be like, if will he ever? But if he patterns his consistent finishing from these 1v1s and glaring opportunities, because one thing you notice from Núñez, instinctively, he'll score headers, finish instinctively. The 1v1s and when he has to think about it, he's not great right now. But Núñez is going to do bits. Hasn't he got? He's got a 1-2 record for Liverpool, nearly a 1-2 record. 31, yes, nearly 1-2. What is it? 31 games, 14 goals. Not bad. Not a bad return. Okay, they spent a lot of money on him, but if we just view everything by how much people spent, it's hard to have real football discussions and have real football talk, in my opinion. You know what I mean? It ain't. It's hard because money nowadays are ridiculous. Everyone's just spending silly money on players, and that's why I think we see so many flops. I don't think people realize how much that's damaging to the players. These high fees, ridiculous fees for players that ain't good enough. But Darwin Núñez will score goals, man. He's gonna score. I think he's gonna be a big player next season. I think he's gonna be a really, really, really big player next season. I've actually enjoyed seeing him more off the left than I do in the 9. Because he's actually very good at running down that line. He's so fast. He's good at running down the line. And I'm sure if you look at his assist for Salah, I think he's assisted Salah 5 times. And it's just been basically a square ball because he's through. He's a good runner. Good runner. And I like this point that Osimhen and well, especially Osimhen, guys unpolished too, but in this league, if you're athletic, fast, got movement, you will score goals. Núñez has all the attributes to score goals in the Premier League. All the attributes. I have no doubt about it, in all honesty. I ain't got any doubt about it. He will. But what does this mean for Liverpool's season? Are Liverpool back? Are Liverpool going to rise up? I actually think we've kickstarted their season. And if Manchester United fans were saying we're in the title race, when at no point were we closer than 8 points to Arsenal, why can't Liverpool catch us when they're only 7 points behind? I'm just asking, why can't Liverpool catch Man United if they're only 7 points behind if Manchester United were in the title race? Because a lot of fans, Man United fans, are saying, "Nah, you guys ain't catching Liverpool catch." No. Do you know what a 7-0 can do for you, bro, against your biggest rivals? Do you, we I said it on stoppage time. We boosted their season in 2021 or 2021. They came, they beat us, and all of a sudden their season started again. Do I think they're going to go win 15 in a row? Probably not. But Liverpool will make the top four. Liverpool will make the top four. Spurs, I think they're looking this close to throwing it away. Newcastle, I ain't even considering it. I don't think Newcastle will make it. But Liverpool will make the top four. But will they get above Man United? Listen, this could both go the other way for both clubs. I said it on Stop It. I didn't even know Salah had 11 league goals, but I said Salah will finish in the top three golden boot for the golden boot. Obviously, Haaland's gone. Kane might have just done enough. Salah has 11, 13 games to go. He'll end on 20, at least. He'll end on 20. Liverpool will go on a run, in my opinion. So if Liverpool have their tails up, Konate stays fit, Van Dijk can stay fit with Konate next to him, they're gonna have a strong end to the season. This has rejuvenated them, even though this won't be that they can't continue with this crop next season because they'll have another bad season. Not now turning around and saying Liverpool are going to go and win the league next year. These guys, they need to recruit, they need to sell, but they can do enough to get top four and cause a problem for Man United. You know what? You only got to give congratulations as well to Salah for being the all-time, what is it, all-time Premier League scorer for Liverpool, yeah? That's big, and he had to do it against Man United. This guy's been scoring too many goals. I remember there was a period where Mo Salah wasn't scoring against Man United. I should have cashed in. I should have really milked it over them days, bro. Because since then it's been what, 12? Is it 12 goals? We're his biggest victims now. Can anyone confirm that to me? We're his biggest victims. That's crazy, you know. That's crazy. Let me see. I don't know what you lot are saying yeah to. What are you lot saying yeah to? Is it to the scorer or the victim thing? So how many has he got then? How many has he got? Yeah, guys, make sure you hit the likes, man. Make sure you hit the likes. Hit the likes. Let's run that up, man. Let's run that up. Just before I'm gonna end it in about 5 minutes, 5-10 minutes. Make sure you guys send your questions in. Send some questions in at the end. Techers Dave, who do you think should be the front three? Salah, Darwin Núñez. When everyone is fit. Oh, everyone is fit. Everyone is fit. I don't know. Diaz as well. Diaz, Núñez, and Salah. But the thing is, kind of feel like when Diaz plays, he kind of takes a lot of the ball, you know. I feel like I don't know if Salah likes playing with him, you know. Or maybe I'm starting something, but I feel like when I was looking at them last season, Diaz was shooting in positions and Salah was looking at him like, brother, what are you on, bruv? What are you doing? I don't know. I might be wrong. I might be wrong. I might be wrong. But I would probably say if you're talking about ability, probably Salah, Núñez, and Diaz. If you're talking about for balance, maybe hey, Jota sometimes I think might be a good balance. Hasn't Firmino got nothing left in him? Firmino got some juice in the tank now. Pause. But I don't know. I would say Salah and Núñez have to start 100%, and then you can rotate between Diaz, Firmino, Gakpo, and Diaz, Jota, Firmino, and Gakpo. But I would say Darwin Núñez and Salah should definitely start because they're the two that I fancy to put the ball in the back of the net. Yeah, I mean, they're the biggest problems, as people say, in a team. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, and a lot of people been saying, why did you stop? Listen, let me see. What's this? Yeah, I know Jamsey. I know. It's kind of mad still. Ed, who should be Manchester United's captain next season? Varane, Licha, is one. Bruno, I love Bruno, but I've been saying he shouldn't be captain from day. I think the captain has to be a winner. So either Varane or Casemiro. But Casemiro's English ain't the greatest. Varane or Casemiro, it has to be a winner, man. This is Man United, not Bruno and Licha, not yet. No, no. I've already spoken on Martinez, so if you haven't seen it, guys, you're gonna have to go back or watch this later on. Maybe watch it in the night. I've already spoken on Martinez, not gonna speak on it again. Is Salah the greatest winger in Premier League history? The greatest winger in Premier League history? Not for me. He's the best goal scoring winger in Premier League history. I'm sure stats back that up too. The best goal scoring winger in Premier League history, but I don't think he's the greatest winger in the Premier League history. That's the thing though, like it's hard to compare these type of things. And this is why now I've said like I'm not trying to do these when you do these all-time debates and all of these things, the all-timers, it's such different eras. They ask for so many different things. Beckham and Giggs were not asked to do what Salah has to do. You know what I mean? Perez was not asked to even do what Giggs was doing. Everyone has different roles. So I like to say it for their generations, for their actual generations. Salah's the best winger in Premier League history in his generation. He's the best winger in his generation in the Prem, definitely. Best in the history of the Premier League. It's hard to do that, man, because you look at a stat of, bro, one day somebody's going to look back at Mane's stats one day and be like, how can you rate Mane? Like he's not that. I think he hit like 100 or something, but people are going to look back one day because there's going to be another guy that comes and probably going to bang bail these goals. Bare goals, and people are going to forget about what Mane did. People are going to forget about what Hazard did, Perez, Giggs, all these guys. I wouldn't say Eden Hazard and Salah's eras crossed in the Prem that much. Hazard was the best of his generation in the Prem. Hazard came to the Prem in 12-13, people. Salah wasn't about. Them times there, what? Salah was at Basel, innit? He was at Basel. For me, if you're talking about the modern day, for me, it will be Hazard on the left, obviously Salah on the right. Salah, for his generation, he came in the Premier League in 12-13. By the time Salah Salah came back in 17-18, 18-19. They only played two seasons together in the league. And those 2 seasons, Hazard was phenomenal as well. 18-19, that double-double, 15-15 season, carrying that Sarri squad. Different. So I would say from when Salah has touched the Premier League, 17-18 to now, he's easily the best winger of his generation. But all round, it's hard to do. It's hard to do. All-time debates are ruining football, people. This is why I've been saying this comparison is the thief of joy. And why 2-3 weeks ago, I said, do you know what? I'm going to stop getting onto the Salah. I'm just going to appreciate him for what he is. I'm just going to appreciate him because you end up when you're having these all-time debates, you kind of shit on people a little bit too much. And I was shitting on him a little bit too much. Because you then say, oh, this guy's saying that this guy's the best ever. So now I need to say this guy is and talk about what he can't do or what it kills the appreciation for the game. You know what I mean? And that's why I said 3 weeks ago, no one can even say that, oh, it's just because he scored a hat trick. I mean, he just scored in the 7-0. I said it 2-3 weeks ago. I said, look, I'm going to stop doing those kind of debates all the time. That's that group chat shit, you know what I mean? But in public and all that, nah, man, that's not that lit, man. That's that NBA talk, man. You know, in the NBA, yeah, they just listen, somebody can score 40 one night, they'll turn around and say, well, he's not better than Jordan. Like, bro, who cares, bruv? Who cares, bruv? Do you know what I mean? Salah can score a goal. Oh, well, Hazard or this person, Foden can score. Yeah, but Saka, Martinelli can score. Yo, but where's Sancho? Oh, bruv, it's jarring, man. It's tiring, bro. It's actually tiring. But yes, listen, Champions League's about to start in 10 minutes. I think Chelsea are going to win. I think Chelsea are going to win. Both teams to score. I'm looking forward to it. Let's see what happens. What do you guys think? Lastly, man, predictions for the game before we head out. Predictions. Make sure you like as well, guys. Make sure you subscribe, share, turn the notifications on. I'm going to go for a Chelsea win. What do Chelsea need to win? What do Chelsea need to do to go through? It's only 1-0, isn't it? It's only 1-0. Let's see. It's only one. And let me know, people. Drop in the comments as well, people. If you want me to do more of these, let me know in the comments. You know, every now and again, I'll come and do this type of stuff. So let me know in the comments if you guys want me to do a lot of some solo ones like we just done here, where we just come, we'll just talk and just catch a vibe. You know what I'm saying? No, I'm not on the big 6 extra today. I'm probably going to be doing the review here. So yeah, people. Chelsea. And guys, make sure you follow me on TikTok, man. Go and follow me on TikTok. Culture Cams on TikTok. I just hit up a dude. He's going to be helping me on my TikTok. So I'll be a lot more active on there as well, man. Well, he'll be doing a lot of cut downs from my streams and stuff. So guys, make sure you make sure you follow me on TikTok, Culture Cams, man. You know, Instagram as well, Culture Cams. You know what I'm saying? What's the time? Cam's thoughts on Ja Morant. He's silly, man. He's silly, man. He's silly. But listen, I might be doing some playoff content. I might do playoff content. I ain't doing no regular season content. Let me tell you that for free. But I might do some playoff content. How highly do you rate? Yes, loyal. Listen, I was just literally what I'm saying. Playoffs, man. Might have something cooking, man. Trust me. How highly do you rate Firmino, false 9 king? Yeah, I like Firmino. He's not the false 9 king, but he's up. He was up there. I like Firmino, man. I like Firmino. Nice. Hold on. Someone said it'll be on FTBR. AKA basketball content on FTBR. That don't make sense. That don't make sense, but it'll be out there. It'll be out there. Need you on Hoop Genius Pod. Talk soon, man. Talk soon. They need to win by 2. Chelsea. And I said Dortmund will score. Can Chelsea score 3 goals? I don't know, you know. I've got some content coming soon as well, which is going to be good. It's not on my channel. It's going to be on somebody else's channel, but the big creator. It's going to be fun. We got a new show coming too. So that's going to be lit. And that's going to be lit. European nights at the bridge is underrated. Low key. Remember that Napoli night? That was in Stamford Bridge against Liverpool sometimes. Barcelona. If you were there, you were there, man. If you were there, you were there. Wait. Yeah, thingies don't count, innit? Your away goals don't count, but they'll still need 3 goals. They'll need to go through 3-2. Like, if I think Dortmund is going to score, Chelsea needs to score 3 goals. But anyway, guys, people, man, big up yourselves, man. I don't want to hold you guys. I know you need to get your drinks, get your snacks and stuff before the game. So big up everyone that's still inside. But like on your way out, people, man. Share, subscribe, and drop a comment. Please drop a comment as you go out. Just press the refresh button, drop a comment. And we'll be back to talk soon, man. Culture Cams, out.